Company that fired me wants additional work for free, ha 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 ha. Without getting into details, I was made the scapegoat in a situation at work that had little to do with me. I was in the middle of a huge project. I turned in the remaining work that I completed by the last official day of employment. I did sign an agreement so that I could get severance. But I read it carefully. And the terms were acceptable. Now they want me to walk them through the raw data I collected during the project. Not for free. Honey, I don't especially want to do it but could use the money. I offered to give a consultation or finish the work and make my recommendation summary for a fee. Let's see if they bite. What do you think would be the appropriate amount for basically consulting for them? 3x whatever your salary was, for a minimum number of guaranteed hours. If they don't look at you with murder in their eyes while you consult. It was too low. You don't need the $. Make 'em bleed. It should at least equal 1 month's pay. Bare minimum. Nothing is free in this world. If it's important to them, they can pay accordingly. Make them pay in advance and wait until the severance check has cleared. Make it 5x whatever your salary was min 4 hours they need you. You don't need them? Depending on how annoyed you are with them, you should be netting anything between 3x and 10x your former salary. Figure 50 of gross for benefits and taxes. So billing $2,000 day nets you $1,000 day. Quote them the gross rate so that you can cover taxes, E&O insurance, or make them buy it vacation time accrual, health insurance, and commute costs. Per diem is extra and includes meals and hotels and car rental if needed. 3-4x of what your pay was. You will need to pay for all the taxes on the income. Whatever the agreement is, it needs a very specific line. X company shall pay all fees and costs in the process of collecting on this contract. Incurred. After writing that, I remembered the primary rule. Only sign a contract after your attorney has read it. That is why it costs so much to hire a consultant. It's not their hourly, it's them collecting all the costs incurred setting up the job. Ask for a 50 retainer of whatever you ask for. Payable on the first day. For example, you estimate 4 days at $2,000 per day. $4,000 retainer. You deserve it and you can't trust them. Here's how I calculated how much to ask for work as an independent contractor continuing the same work. Gross pay value of $401,000 match value of employer paid benefits, how much I currently cost them. Multiply by 1.5. But if you got screwed out of your job and they want you to still do shit for them? Multiply by 3. GIF Giphy 7B71 C4KE 3 meters 0. Anyone saying double salary is a moron. The absolute minimum is 3x. And depending on how underpaid you were in the first place, 5x could be more accurate for consulting. Join an LLC first to CYA for any legal liabilities. Then up your rate to 3-4x what they were paying you, or find out what consultants charge in your area for that job. Make them sign a contract to keep you on as retainer for a year. Sure thing, you're a consultant now. You charge $2,000 per day for a minimum engagement period of 2 weeks. Payable in advance. I don't especially want to do it. I suggest you pass on this. Money's nice to get, but they've already scapegoated you once and they'll do it again. But this time, it will be with you as a consultant, not an employee. And there's potential liability attached for you personally. Even if it's unlikely, stay away from their dumpster fire. Bonus up front with no strings attached, then you work for 4x the pay. Don't help monsters. Tell them you don't feel it's a good fit for your skills. $250 an hour, 10 hours minimum. Briefly, severance agreements often include language that you won't work for the company again for some amount of time, or they can take back the severance. Make sure that this either is not in your severance agreement, or that they waive that restriction in writing before you even begin discussing the cost of helping them. Short version: get a lawyer. You're going to need one here so you don't give them a chance to screw you a second time. Sure would be a shame if the data were polluted. No or radio silence. 3 to 4 times your hourly reasonable minimum. If they bite, do your best work. Jerk who fired you won't notice, but the people you work with will. Your reputation with them could benefit you one day. Honestly, don't. It's not worth the money. They let you go. You're done. And that was their decision. Walk away. Find your next assignment. And enjoy life. I got fired from a company. They asked me to clean up my PC. I did thoroughly, ending with a complete wipe of all files except OS and programs. Think wipe, overwrite, defrag, wipe x5, all files lost, as per their request. Then they figured out that they needed me to move their roadmap ahead. I quoted them $5,000 an hour for consulting services because that was the minimum I would sell my pride for. They started to negotiate. I told them to fuck off. Edit: to this day I don't get why it was important to them that I wipe my PC. They lost so much data by asking me to do that, which was idiotic. Percent of the income they earn from it, plus 1 month's salary. If you want them to actually consider it, $250, $300 per hour, with a 4 hours minimum. Make sure it's in writing and signed by someone with authority. Keep in mind, you will need to withhold your own taxes and report it. Triple your previous rate and the head of whoever scapegoated you on a platter. Better make sure the separation agreement doesn't have anything in it about releasing company information. Even to them, they can say you violated the agreement and fuck you over. Depending on your expertise, consultation fees in the USA are $200 per hour or $800 per day on the lower end, or around $500 per hour, $2,500 per day on the higher end. But I have seen people cash $10 on a weekend, so it really depends. Anyway, it is not cheap. I browsed a few of these and did not see the right answer. There is no limit up. You should charge them whatever number will make you happy if they say yes. If there's a chance that you are unhappy if they say yes, charge more. It is okay for the number to be even 10,000x your annual salary. This is not consulting work and you shouldn't try to figure out something fair. This is one-time work for a company that fired you. 3x previous salary, make sure all in writing. Definitely take your base pay and multiply it by 3 to 5 times. It's what they would pay if you were a regular with benefits. So stick it to M. Way more than your salary. You no longer are getting benefits, health insurance, retirement, etc. Contractors get paid way more for these missing benefits. Someone I worked with got laid off, and it wasn't until he was gone that the company realized he had an exclusive skill set. He ended up coming back on a freelance basis for 4 times the money to do the same job. Contract rates are $150 hours, 40 hours minimum, paid up front. 3-5x your salary is a standard consultant fee. Yeah, I'm a professional. And when I was laid off, they expected me to take half of my notice period, 6 weeks out of 12, to train the office person I worked with to do my job for half the pay. I was like, I have nothing against you. And if they expect you to pick up my job on top of yours, you should ask for a raise. But I'm not gonna show you anything aside from where things are, what to do and how to do things. Once I handed you the keys, is not my problem anymore.